one of the big questions or statements that keeps popping up is that a USA sports scholarship moving to the States is a really big decision for a young teenager to make, and it is, absolutely. But the important thing to remember is that during the investigation process of just understanding what your options are and what's on offer, there's actually no big decisions to be making at all. So it doesn't need to be an overwhelming process if you just don't make it a big thing. So our 30-day game plan is basically designed to do 4 things for you. It helps you understand what's on offer. So as a student athlete, is going over to the States and playing your sport at an elite level something that you want to do? Is it going to add value to you and get you to where you want to go sporting wise? Academically, is studying in the US going to add value to you from a career perspective? You can go and get your degree at home, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a different pathway to going and getting it in the US. There's a different journey that you go on, and being an elite athlete in the USA just opens up experiences, international networks, connections that are simply not available anywhere else other than in the US university system. There's nothing like it. So, with a lot of the decisions that you're going to make, the questions that you're going to ask yourself, there's not a right and a wrong. There's simply a right for you. And if you're focusing on a particular degree and a particular career path, there's multiple different ways. It's like Google Maps. As long as you know where you want to get to, then there's multiple different routes and directions that you can take to get you to point B. And I don't know that the Google Maps is really the best analogy, because with a map and a physical location, you're going to a defined point. But the point I'm trying to make is, wherever you want to get to, there's different ways that you can get there, and the USA Sports Scholarship is simply one of the options available to you. But as parents of a student athlete, or as a young student athlete yourself, it's really important to understand that there's no big obligations or commitments for you to make in just investigating whether it's going to be right for you. And our 30-day game plan is designed to do exactly that. Take you through a step-by-step process of discovery, work out whether a USA Sports Scholarship is right for you, and if it is, how do you put a game plan in place to get you to the result that you're after? How do you build your personal brand? How do you contact and engage with coaches? So if you want to know more about our 30-day game plan, you can just click on the link in the description box with this video. There's nothing to subscribe to. It'll take you to a web page where there's a free video with more detail. If you think a USA Sports Scholarship is something that you want to investigate, whether it's an opportunity that you want to at least consider, then you can take sort of the next steps from there. And again, there's no big commitment, there's no big obligation. It's really just about you understanding the potential value add that going to the US and studying in the US brings to you from a career perspective, from from a lifestyle perspective. It makes you more interesting to future employers to know that you've gone outside your comfort zone, you've traveled overseas, you've lived the life of an elite athlete, you've had this whole travel experience, you've built international networks of connections through that process. And the alumni networks at the universities in the USA are an incredible resource to the students and student athletes that go through that process. There's a real bond back to the universities and past students, and that network can have massive value for you from a career perspective moving forward. And you create lifelong memories through this journey of becoming a student athlete and making the move outside your comfort zone and you know, going through the challenges that you go through as a student athlete makes you a very, very interesting character for future employers. So that might be one reason that you look at going over to the US. Another is obviously, you know, from a sporting perspective, the college system over there has amazing infrastructure. So if you're an elite athlete and you're looking to take your sporting credentials to the next level, particularly, you know, if you're in that that band of athletes that are performing at a high level, but because of the way high performance programs really narrow at the top, you know, getting international teams, you know, getting into elite selections, squads, talent identified training groups and those sorts of things, the numbers really shrink in most countries. So when you're going to the US as a student athlete, you're getting into programs where colleges have levels of coaching staff, infrastructure, high performance medical staff, sports psychologists, trainers, etc. You're getting that at a college level, and a lot of these colleges, they are basically operating, have resources available to them that are not available in a lot of elite programs at a country or national level in a lot of countries. So, you know, and academically, you're getting a world-class degree in an education system that is really flexible. So like in Australia and New Zealand, as a young teenager, you've got to make a decision on what's the career that you're going to focus on. You make a decision, you go into university in that career, and then what you find is in the first 12 months, there's lots of first year uni students who are actually changing degrees because their expectations, what they thought they were getting into versus the reality of what they've chosen, wasn't right for them. So they've got to pivot, and that's a pretty painful process. Whereas in the US, with the liberal arts degree model, basically what you're looking at is a huge amount of flexibility because you're doing core studies in the first 2 years, which allows you to sample lots of different study subjects and opportunities. So your ability to pivot and not have to make a decision on where you're going to specialize or focus on from a career perspective as soon as you leave high school and go to university. You can basically get into that university system, get to understand the different areas of study, the different career options and opportunities available to you, and then start to refine your education journey to get you to the outcome that you want at the end of the 4 years. So it's a lot more flexible, it's a lot more inclusive, and allows you to pivot. So that's one of the big advantages of getting a degree in the USA. So do your homework. The 30-day game plan's all around drip feeding you information bit by bit over the course of a month, so you don't have to go cramming and doing massive amounts of study and research. We've basically systemized the whole process, simplified the whole process, given you all the research tools that you need to go and have a look at to get the information you need to decide firstly whether a USA Sports Scholarship is of interest to you. If it is, what's your life going to look like as a student athlete? And then what's the processes you need to go through to put yourself in the best position to get your dream scholarship offer? So yeah, no big decisions, but definitely an opportunity that you should be aware of. And then if it's the right opportunity for you, then how do you go about setting in place a game plan to get you the result that you're after? And that's exactly what our 30-day game plan does. So if you want to click on the link in the description box with this video, basically you'll be directed to a web page. There's nothing, you don't have to put an email or anything in. There's a free video there. It'll give you more information around the 30-day game plan and what's on offer in the USA. And then if that's something that's of interest to you, then you can take the next steps, again with no big commitment, no big obligation. And at the end of the day, if you go through the process and you change your mind and you decide that you don't want to go to the US for whatever reason, again, no big deal, no big risk on your part, but at least you know what's on offer and you've had the opportunity to put yourself out there as a potential option if you choose. And the thing is, going through the process is going to help you identify what's really important to you, what are you really after, help you design your future. And the skills and the processes that you'll pick up during the 30-day game plan, they're highly valuable to you regardless of whether you're applying it to your academics, to your sports, to university life, to future career prospects. The 30-day game plan has 6 underlying core strategies, success strategies, that are the foundation of the 30-day game plan. So it's not a theoretical course on these principles. Just be aware that they're there, and if you want to know more about the core success strategies, we've done a video series on those, so just check out other videos wherever you're watching this, YouTube, Facebook, wherever. Yeah, but look, good luck with your journey, whichever direction you're going in, and we're here to help you if investigating and going to the USA as an elite athlete is on your radar. Then you want to have a look at the 30-day game plan just by clicking in the link in the description box. Good luck with your journey.